What's Wrong With? The podcast is a podcast series by Sour, an international design studio with the mission to address social and urban issues, hosting discussions with progress makers on underlying reasons of problems we see in the world today to ideate solutions. In celebration of reaching 100 episodes of What's Wrong With? The podcast, we are holding a synthesis series to reflect and discuss the universal insights that we have emerged from all our interviews. We are collaborating with NYU Tisch Center for Hospitality for the first session of this series, unpacking the insight, keeping it Glocal. The need to empower authentic local solutions inspired by global vision for the advancement of the global landscape.
Let's talk about the future of higher education. Everybody would be on board. Everybody would be passionate. They'd have ideas. And even the people who say, I hate technology, they'd be happy to talk about technology because it was reframed in that way. So I could be cynical and say this is a language hack, but it really wasn't. It's really just a way of reframing how we think about not just technology in education, but higher education in general.
Thinking about the city or a town or a neighborhood, but understanding who's empowered in that kind of way of deciding what is happening in their own neighborhoods or cities, and how you are part of those discussions that are helping envision what that future can be.
There's this big question of kind of equity when it comes to the environment, because climate change and the drivers of climate change and the effects of climate change and environmental degradation are fundamentally unequal. Some groups are going to be more affected than others, and oftentimes there's a huge amount of overlap between the groups that are affected and the groups that really didn't contribute to the actions driving these forces. So, this effect definitely extends to cities as well, especially as the world is getting increasingly urbanized.
Localism becomes the way we operate in local neighborhoods, who we get together with. They may not be our company, but they might be people who we choose to work together in some kind of space, a curated space, if you like, who are linked to what we do, who may be able to introduce us to somebody who we work with, client or whatever supplier. We're going back to actually what the first cities were like. Not what the industrial city was like, the mercantile city or the big global sort of capital city. But the digital city, what I call the fifth age of cities, could look very much more like the first age.
A new era since the beginning of 21st century. Because of the interconnected world, the world became much smaller in that sense. It's really interconnected. People travel a lot for commercial purposes and experience purposes. You can travel much faster, much cheaper. You can bring almost yourself anywhere around the world if you want to.
The event will take place on Wednesday, April 26, from 3:30 to 5:30 p.m. at NYU Tisch Center for Hospitality. You can join in person or online. See you soon!